14.
Game is underway now.
There we go.
No, it's
I
a
was-
spectator
I was-
bug. It'll choose random points in time.
There we go. Because I was 30 seconds in and nobody was on the platforms. I was like, okay.
We're playing with ghosts now.
All right.
All right, and
Yeah,
right off the
Halloween.
bat, we get a pause. So I'm assuming there was a connection issue somewhere. So they're just trying to bide their time. So let's just talk a little bit further on regards. I mean, let's focus on the Akali, because that's the truly unique pick that you just, again, you don't see that ever. I mean, sure, you don't see Mundo Jungle that often. You don't see Lux that often anymore either. I mean, she's starting to get a little bit back in ever since they buffed her passive, where it also scales with ability power, which I thought was a beautiful touch.
Oh, yeah.
But-
That's huge for her, honestly.
Oh, yeah. But Akali, she's a very one-dimensional champion. She basically button mashes and dives on a champion, and oh shit, shrouds if things go wrong. But any form of Oracle, whether it be a pink ward or an upgraded sweeper, completely destroys Akali. That's her number one counter. That's the one thing that will destroy her this game. So the clock is in place right now for Akali to get strong enough to the point that by the time they even do sweep her, she should have taken one person already down with her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because she's going to be struggling in lane by default, because Akali is not going to... She's going to be shoved in most of the time. Lux can just constantly throw out her orb and push the wave and keep Akali under turret and keep her honest. And back to something else you also mentioned too, the fact that Lux is running Ignite, that is a very peculiar summoner for Lux. I mean, I've seen most Luxes, especially when you're up against an assassin, run a barrier so you can do that double shield bait. And like, oh, you're diving under turret, throw out her shield, pop barrier, bind them under the turret, and be like, oh, shoop de whoop.
Yep. The one thing I can say it is very useful for in this game is going to be trying to take down that Mundo. Having a form of reduced healing and having a form of damage over time to be able to help finish off that Mundo so he can't just regen throughout the entire fight is going to be huge for her. Let's assume that maybe she's not building Morello's, so maybe that's why they want that form of reduced healing in some form, because otherwise they really don't have any other way to tack on reduced healing. They have the bleed damage from Darius, but that's not a form of reduced healing. So
Yeah, it's
having
more
the
like
Ignite-
healing mitigation at that point.
exactly. So having the grievous wounds in some form being tacked onto the Ignite there to throw onto Mundo when he's running around your team and you just can't quite finish him off. Hopefully that'll work. I would say maybe that's the window of opportunity for Lux to throw the Ignite on, try to lock Mundo in place, because it's pretty hard for Mundo to dodge an instant light binding when he's running right into the front of your team.
Very true.
So that, I would say, is going to be the optimal way for Lux to use that Ignite. Otherwise, though, as far as laning phase goes, Freak Show kind of has a bit of the advantage here. Even if Freak Show gets poked out a little bit early, he has teleport available to get back to lane instantly, which is huge for a lot of mid laners right now, is to be able to have that teleport as kind of your backup plan, your kind of safety plan to, okay, well, this laning phase at first isn't going well. I've got a bit of gold now, so I can back. Maybe grab some more potions, maybe grab another Doran's Ring or whatever it is, depending on what champion you're playing. Come back into lane now, and now I have a way to just sustain in lane. And then once that teleport comes back up, because it's on a really short cooldown when you use it on towers, 240 seconds, a full minute refunded when you use it on towers.
And also, if you go to the masteries, which in utility, which I doubt they did for Akali, I'm pretty sure Freak Show went 21.90. But when you get down to 10%, you can actually have it down to about 3.5 minutes if you teleport to a tower.
Yep.
And then there's distortion. Oh, I love distortion.
Yes, and then you can also go Distortion Boots as well, reduce that cooldown just a little bit more. Looks like Nautilus has reconnected, so we might be able to get this game underway in just a second. But
Indeed.
But
But
yeah,
I was just saying earlier about the grievous wounds on the Mundo, hard for Mundo to dodge a light binding when he's point blank range. That could actually be a huge winning factor actually for the red side. The fact that they're going to have this Mundo, they're hopefully going to have this Meganard, they're going to have these insane meat shields just running straight forward, and with Mundo's healing healing potential just being a sponge for the Lux, for the Nidalee, for the Caitlyn, it's going to give both Akali and Vayne, these mid-late game assassin duelists, the opportunity to position themselves to get onto their priority targets. Whether it's Vayne, who, by the way, Vayne is amazing against Juggernauts. So Darius is going to have a hard time sticking onto Vayne. I mean, unless he gets a kill and manages to get his passive off onto Vayne with like one lucky Q and just go for an instant dunk, he's going to have a hard time locking her down for anything. And right now, as we see right now, teams are just kind of forming out of a straight line, just going defensive wards at this point. Nothing cheeky going on. So, no invade. I'm going to see whether the top laners are going to try to do any jungle camps so they can utilize their teleports and just have a little bit extra sustain in items for the start of the game. I think that would actually be more beneficial for Darius possibly, because if he goes to the lane just level 1 against a Gnar will start just poking him down, and Darius is not going to have any opportunity to try to get anything out of that.
Nice little Q Tigers flare there. See who he's rooting for. That's a bold decision there to root for them over SKT, but I mean, this has been the tournament of upsets and unpredictable things this Worlds, I'd say. So
I'm sorry, that Gnar
is the best dance of the game. That is the best dance of the game. I love it. Love it.
Oh, thank you, Nova. Hope you're doing good, Mark. Okay, so right now we are seeing both duo lanes assisting their junglers. Nova Cloak is over here too, so it looks like actually we might have a double jungle. Yes, Mundo's gonna smite the Gromp, making it much easier for red side's bot lane to go for that level 2 advantage, while Gnar is tanking for Mundo, which is actually huge because while Mundo has insane clear, he has negative sustain since he uses all of his abilities cost health.
He does refund half of the health on his cleaver if he hits it, which he should in the jungle since the things aren't moving, and it's right in front of him. And he gets the full health back if he kills it with the cleaver. So he does have a little bit of sustain in that regard. But yeah, as you said,
that's only for last hitting.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, a lot of damage from it.
There's the Ignite coming into play. Pyramides isn't going to flash for it. He does. The auto attack, the Ignite's taken away, but there's the potion keeping him alive. And he does survive.
And at this point right now, Freak Show is going to be able to sit back here. Both summoner flashes are down in the mid lane, which actually... Ooh. Yeah, Freak Show he can teleport back. He can teleport back.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Having teleport right now is just so valuable no matter who you're playing. Godsmith's taking a bit of damage here. The Piltover Peacemaker going right through him. Tan not overextending for that, which is a good decision there. But able to trade back a lot of damage when they were the ones being engaged on there. So smart decision there by the blue team. Hook coming out, just trying to keep them zoned, trying to make sure Red Trip cannot get ahead this game at all. And here we go. Freak Show is back in lane now, able to buy a ward and 5 potions. So that'll hopefully give Freak Show the chance to sustain very well. And hopefully give time for Mundo to come by for a gank. Jury hanging out next to the X-Phase. Oh, he got the buff though. And now Flash is out of the way, so Jury actually not really gaining anything out of that.
Yeah, she actually lost time trying to go for the invade. Did not get the kill. Did not even get the buff. So now she's going to have to be rotating to her blue side behind an experience. Actually, she is still level 3 to level 2 in X-Phase. So she's cleared more camps.
Did burn the flash though, which early game for Mundo, since he doesn't have a gap closer, that is kind of denying him the ability to gank unless he can come in and land a good cleaver. It's difficult to gank mid lane because mid lane doesn't have any hard CC to set up for the Mundo. He has to sort of just run in from behind and throw cleavers at whoever he's trying to gank. So ganking Pyramides right now is going to be very, very difficult.
I think the best option for Mundo to gank would actually be the top lane. Wait for Gnar, just get in the point of Mega Gnar, get nothing but CC, and let the percentage-based damage of Mundo then come into play.
Absolutely, yeah. Trying to shut down the Darius as much as possible, make sure he can't farm and start to snowball. He's definitely the prime snowball target, I would say, of the blue team. Lux can kind of be a bit of a utility mage and still do fine, even if she doesn't have a bunch of kills. Same thing with Caitlyn. She can pump out a good amount of damage safely without having to be incredibly fed. So a lot of the gold income is going to have to be going in towards Slacker out of all the laners here. So if we could shut him down and the red team can do a decent job of denying him kills and denying him CS. You can see there Nova Cloak doing a good job of tearing his health apart there. He's going to go through the minion wave to hit him as well. Can safely do that.
Mundo's ganking the mid lane right now, catching Lux unaware. She does not have flash, so this cleavers keep landing. There should be first blood over to Akali. And Slacker barely gets out. That potion of his is chugging away. Keep denying a second kill on the map. That was a very good gank. As you were saying before, very hard for Mundo to gank. There's another fight in the bot lane. They get a beautiful amount of damage on the Caitlyn, but here comes Nilly in the flank.
Fury's jumping in, looking for the pounce, gets exhausted by Godsmith. Spear does land again, goes to the pounce, but the hook from Zyros.
Oh, almost a good play from Godsmith's final breath. catching the Jury and getting under turret. However, she does leap and flash out of the way, so the Silver Bolt cannot come in to possibly clean up that kill and making this a 1-for-1 exchange in the bot lane. And in top lane, we have Gnar right here, getting nice and big, possibly going up for Darius right now.
And he's under turret. Can't do too much about that just yet, but yeah, Nova Cloak is doing a good job of using the early game lane bully advantage that Gnar has over Darius, able to shred his health, able to push him in, make it difficult for him to farm at the tower. He's only got a couple CS ahead, but it's still a bit of a lead for him, and it prevents Slacker from snowballing as well as he would like to. And there he goes, going to bop on his head
Slacker
there.
misses the swing right there, and that's actually a huge part of Darius' kit now, where he gets such a good health, like percentage-based heal, land that Q on opponents. And Akali hits level 6, is going in right for Lux.
Pyramides takes another trophy to the face there. X-Face goes in, uses that E. Bit of damage there. Takes a bit of damage from Pyramides. So, couple points real quick. Lot just happened there. Up in the top lane, Darius was nerfed past couple patches here. Of course, during the Worlds patch, Darius is still very strong because they're still on 5.18. But on the live patch, we're on 5.20 now. Ooh, Slacker. Oh, there's the Gnar.
But Jury is up there too, trying to go for a counter gank at this point. Nova Cloak could possibly be falling right now, trying to tell us anything he can. And Lux gets a kill in the mid lane, barely surviving. And that's 2 kills across the map. Both Lux and Nidalee getting kills. But granted, Nova Cloak did have to dive to get that Darius, so he probably tanked the turret just a little bit too much. Bot lane, hook goes out, lands onto Caitlyn at this point. Vayne's trying to get position, gets it condemned, but not against the wall. And this bot lane, they are trading so evenly, but we have a teleport coming in. Freak Show stands on our trap, though. Instead, going straight for the Caitlyn. Has a lot of damage, can't get the ultimate off one more time.
Hook. Godsmith. Oh, the support kill.
Beautiful anchor toss right there from Nautilus, just catching the very tip of range onto the Thresh, pulling him just into the extent of range of the turret as well.
So a couple things, hopefully, before the fight breaks out again. And do more play-by-play. So we did say it was going to be very unlikely for Mundo to be able to gank mid lane very early, but he rushes the Chilling Smite very early and goes back as early as possible, gets that Chilling Smite, and immediately heads to mid lane. Saw that Lux overascended, comes in for Akali, hits her with a Chilling Smite to guarantee some crowd control, then starts to chain the trophy toss, the cleaver toss there, to be able to chain slow her, and netted mid lane a kill. Which starts to get Freak Show ahead. Freak Show is now able to continually try to fight, trying to sustain as best as she can. Oh my goodness! And now it's starting to snowball and start to do Akali things. So
sidesteps the ultimate, flashes over the binding to secure a 1v1 kill in the mid lane.
And that's what we were looking for there. I mean, this is why taking Ignite on Lux is such a big risk here, because yes, you were able to push Freak Show out of lane early, and yes, you were able to kind of put her a little bit behind in CS very early, but now Freak Show's 10 CS ahead of you. Freak Show has a couple kills as well and is snowballing on one of the snowballiest champions in the game. Again, I'm using that word there. One of the most snowball-reliant champions in the game here. And even the Mundo's getting assists out of it. The Mundo's starting to get, a bit of a lead as well. Nidalee does have a kill under her belt as well, and about 10 more CS, so Nidalee is slightly further ahead than the Mundo. But Mundo doesn't need quite as much gold as Nidalee. Mundo just needs to get a little bit tanky and just needs to run in front of a fight and throw cleavers. So, excellent job here so far by the red team. Another point as well, we saw Gnar using his advantage, using the health shred, still using it there. He might go for it. Yep, there it is again. Another ultimate there on the Slacker. He could probably get the kill there, and he does with the crunch.
Yeah. That was just 3 seconds of nothing but crowd control on the Darius, and he couldn't do anything. And, ooh, this could be really dangerous. Ooh, dodges both the spear and the ankle toss. However, he is spotted at this point. And,
oh, no, he's not. He's still stealth. Perfect. The depth charge did land. He was able to throw out the depth charge before the stealth went through. The Lux ulti's going to miss. Freak Show goes back in now. But he's going to go down to Zyros, the support. Not the most efficient kill ever, and X-Face is going to get kited as well. Sorry, I'm trying to let you do the play-by-play, but there's just so much fighting happening. It's like, I can't...
I didn't want to interrupt you because you already had words going. It's like, okay, I'll let him go.
No, if a fight breaks out, take it, man. But it's like, yeah, there's just so much fighting happen. I can't break anything down before they're going for another fight, because red team want to try to get this Akali ahead as much as possible, but at the same time, blue team want to try to deny that, so they want to keep Akali dead, because they know right now Akali is just winning lane against the Lux, just straight up. So there's just a constant panic for both of these teams. Like, okay, we need to fight now. We need to constantly fight to keep them behind. And both of these teams want to play a very fast-paced game, but it's giving each one of them advantages, different way. I would say, however, currently, the red team is ahead. They're getting their gold much more efficiently than the blue team, even though they are behind in gold. They're about 1,500 gold behind. All their gold is going into carries, into Akali, into Gnar, who's going to be a bit of a tanky carry, and Mundo, who's going to be getting tanky just to run into the front line and just spam cleavers. Whereas on the blue side, 3 out of their 6 kills, half of their kills, are on their support. Which, yes, Nautilus has a bit of damage as a support, but...
And now, right now, we have Gnar actually chasing the Darius up top. He managed to land the boomerang. He does have his Mega Gnar not up yet. Gnar is not available, so he can't just go in and crowd control him to hell. So actually has a very small missed window. He's going to try to buy this time, see if maybe Gnar does come up, and if Darius gets in a position, he's trying to bait this out. But right now, the Rage Bar is going to drop. Darius survives another day. But Jury is rotating up here, along with Mundo. Both of them, actually, Mundo is level 6, so he does have that ability to sustain. Ooh, sidesteps. Not that one, though. Trying to get out of the way. And Mundo's doing Mundo.
And he's got the ultimate taken, so hopefully he can survive out of that one. That does burn the ultimate on Mundo, so that's maybe an opportunity for the blue team to find another fight. They're trying to in the bottom lane here. They brought down Thresh to about half health here. Of course, Zyra's being fed does give them a bit of advantage in the early game here. Nautilus does do some good damage. His W damage does scale with health, so he can actually dish out quite a bit of damage. But they can't quite find a kill just yet. Nova Cloak, meanwhile, is probably going to go for another solo kill on Slacker, but they do have Nidalee right behind. Misses the spear, though.
Ooh, just jumps! Just jumps on him like a Goomba and gets a clean kill and hops to safety at this point. Now, Zyra's trying to get the flank in. Does not land the anchor toss on the Vayne. And that's another disengage finding the bot lane. Now, Akali's trying to rotate up mid. Lux actually sees her, does not go through the binding. This should be a kill for Akali. She can land one more jump.
There it is. Pyramid is bound to go down. Ignite does go down as well. A bit of a waste of a spell. And if only Lux had a teleport to get back to lane right now and just keep farming and just stay safe. Lux
or even if she had a barrier or even exhaust and she could have made it to the turret and bought more time.
Exactly. Bring some more utility for your team. The Ignite is nice if you want to try to get yourself ahead early lane, but when you're against a matchup like Akali or another assassin in lane and you bring Ignite, you have to make sure that you are the better assassin, and Lux just is not an assassin. Chances are in a 1v1 you're not going to be able to out-trade Akali unless you already have a massive lead yourself.
Ooh, Mundo actually trading a lot of damage back on the Nidalee. Here comes Akali going for the cleanup. And there's Akali right now, she's rolling. She's probably pretty close to her Hextech gunplay, and what she does, yeah, she has a 1,600 gold. She has her gunplay. That is a massive surge in damage for her. And they're looking to take the first dragon. And once again...
Yep. Novaco's just going to keep him up here. He doesn't even care about wasting that ulti. He just doesn't want Darius to roam. Oh,
Caitlyn with the steal!
Very nice steal by Tay in there.
Oh, beautiful steal, actually. That was a free... that was a free objective, really, for the red side. Like, 95% free because Nidalee was gone. Lux wasn't in the area, so she couldn't even use her Finale's Falcon, or... I think that's what it's called.
Final Spark.
They did change it to English. I like Finale's Falcon.
Yep. But,
wow, that was such an unlikely steal, but well played by Talon, getting the dragon buff, which actually the first dragon buff is, again, it's massive on Akali, who utilizes both AD and ability power.
Here comes the teleport. Pyramides.
Oh, right into the Mega Gnar!
Did you not see the teleport? It's visible. It's always visible.
And this should be a double kill.
Went down too.
Oh.
Watch your map. What are you
Gnar
doing?
is 4-1. Akali is 5-2-1. All the kills are on the solo laners right now. The bot lane from red side is keeping from falling too far behind because their lane was naturally at a disadvantage.
Vayne has the CS ahead. I mean, Caitlyn's barely 100 gold ahead, and all the kills went onto Nautilus. So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying though. Like, literally, Caitlyn and Nautilus have an advantage in the laning phase, and Thresh and Vayne were able to mitigate enough to not fall behind. And they let their soul lanes do the work. Now, Mundo does get caught out, which is unfortunate, but I don't know what he was doing.
Last game we saw it happen with the Vayne. This game we're seeing it happen with the Akali, where those difficult to get fed, but we want to get them fed carries are the ones.
You mean
getting
the
fed
snowballiest champions?
Yes. The snowballiest champions are the ones getting fed early. And that's exactly what you don't want if you're this blue team right now. I mean,
Ooh, they managed to get the ankle toss onto the Thresh. This should be a quick kill right now. They're going for the dive onto the Vayne. They do have the CC. Caitlyn goes down. Lux all fires, misses to the side, but I don't think it would have been enough anyways. But this should be potentially a free turn as soon as they get minions. Yeah, they have Nearly over here. They have the heal and attack speed boost to give to Caitlyn so you can drop the turret. And Nara steps on a trap.
and this is the advantage hopefully that the blue team has later in the game. The fight breaking out here, bottom and top side.
Nara going in. He is massive at this point right now. Trying to go for a Mega Nara. Does land a lot of damage!
Meanwhile, Slacker being taken down by... Oh, goes for the dunk. Doesn't survive it, though.
Even the bot lane, they're still unable to kill the Mundo and the Nara. And once again, the front line for the red side is just, it's so far ahead and massive right now. They're going for the chase. Cleaver does land. This should be a kill on the Lux.
There's the hyper, the boomerang, pouncing.
They give it over to the Vayne. Now they land the hook to Caitlyn. They give a double kill at this point.
Excellent job. The flash hook from Godspick there. Able to help them clean up yet another kill there. That looked really good. And yes, that was a two-man ulti from Nova Cloak into the wall there. But you still had the damage dealers free and not stunned into the wall for the blue side, so they were still able to trade back a lot of damage. So that still bought them enough time for the rest of their team to catch up. Redtrip and Godsmith to come back from being low.
Also, something to notice right now, Gnar went Frozen Mallet first over Black Cleaver. He is wanting to sustain these fights and chase and chase.
Yeah, absolutely. Darius finally has his Black Cleaver finish, but now he's so far behind, and the red side is getting so tanky that, yes, he can shred a bit of armor, but he's not going to be able to survive in fights himself. And the main thing you want in Darius is to be able to survive a bit, to build up your passive stack so you can ult and dunk somebody, get that reset, and start spinning and spreading your passive around onto as many people as possible. So having the Black Cleaver is nice, but I almost feel like he should have rushed a tankier item early on. Maybe some magic resistance to help survive against the Fetacali and the health shred from Gnar, because that hyper passive is magic damage. Gnar does mostly physical himself, but that health shred is magic.
Right now, Gnar is actually on the flank of Darius. He does have Gnar up if he ever gets his rage bar filled. Is he just going for a chase?
He could do it.
Yeah, he's just going for him.
Another thing I wanted to mention earlier as well, while Darius dies, because he's not getting out of this one, but Darius's blade, his axe, was nerfed. The last patch, I believe.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
His axe width is now smaller than it was. So if you're playing Darius based off memory, oh, Tayan. Goodbye. If you're playing Darius based off memory, his axe is smaller than it was. So if you really need to pay attention to the actual indicator on your axe instead of thinking about where it would have hit them previously, because it's not going to reach quite as far as it did before.
And on that note, too, they also nerfed the fact that if it only hits one person now, the actual percentage heal individually is lower, but now it stacks higher through multiple targets. Before, I think it was 10%, but you can only go up to 3 times, where now I think it's 8%, but go up to 4 or 5. I can't remember the actual numbers. Let's actually take a look. I'm going to click and learn things. Yeah, 12% missing health per enemy, up to 36%.
Up to 36. So he can get the max heal possible from 3 targets, which is why I don't think the Black Cleaver is a really great item on Darius anymore. It's not as the first item if you're not ahead. If you're ahead, sure, go for it. Rush your, keep, widen the gap that you have if you get ahead. But when you're behind like this, when you're 0-6 and you're down 50 CS, you cannot afford to go for a damage item first when your goal is to get into the middle of the fight and survive and spin around and hit people with that axe, sustain with your Q, get your stacks up, and then start dunking people. Because that is your goal on Darius, and right now he just can't do that. There's no way he's going to be able to survive in a fight with a 7-2 Akali with Gunblade and Sheen finished, the 2-0 Vayne that now has Blade of the Rune King, and the Gnar that's shredding you as well that you cannot escape from because he's going to perma-slow you with his auto attacks. And then once he catches up to you and he's got his Mega Gnar, he's going to slam you into the wall, and you're done. I mean, right now Darius is so very far behind, they're going to have to drag this out to about 50 minutes for him to be useful. Unless they can get him some kills. Unless they can somehow funnel him some kills. Which is extremely difficult when he's stuck top lane, constantly being pushed in.
Alright, Dragon is live. Right now, Red Team is positioning position for it. Can it be stolen again?
Nope,
no, it is the secure this time. Thresh is going to pay with his life. We have a teleport coming from behind. It is Gnar. Gnar cancels it. Instead decides, I'm going to keep pushing top. He does have a pretty good sized wave. It's unfortunate, though, because he had full rage bar and his ultimate. He could have made a play, but unfortunately, the rest of his teammates had all decided to back out.
So Slacker's now uses TP top. He's going to be forced to be stuck clearing out that wave for a little bit. Blue team is looking for an early Baron, which they actually can do with all the damage and the... Oh! Novacloak trying to get over that wall there. Doesn't quite make it.
He pulled the Naglfar.
Can I get over this one? No? Okay, never mind. Yeah, Darius has a kill now. That's a bit of gold in his pocket. It wasn't a shutdown, but it's still going to be useful. He's still 2,000 gold behind the Gnar, though, so he's still going to be a long ways off to be able to survive in the middle of a fight. If he can come in for a cleanup like that and get a couple more kills that way and hopefully get more gold in his pocket, that's going to greatly help him catch up to the CS deficit because he's still 40 CS behind the Gnar. That's still a lot of... Ooh, the Medjai's picked up here for Lux, which is kind of typical for a lot of solo queue Lux players. You see the Medjai's get picked up because she's typically very safe, and even if you can't guarantee to get a lot of kills with her, you can guarantee a lot of assists because she has a lot of multi-target abilities, and she can throw her shield on everybody, which guarantees you assists. So you can get a bunch of free stacks on the Medjai's. So it's actually a pretty efficient item on Lux if you're playing safely. She does have 5
is not playing safely, though. She is 1 and 5 against an Akali.
And she has Ignite against an Akali. So, again, it's a good item on Lux, just not in this situation. And there's a lot of things where, when you're playing games like this, where even though these aren't formal teams, they are still working together more than a solo queue team would. These are the situations where you need to really consider not just what am I going to build, but when am I going to build it, and does it fit this situation? You need to think more about situational building rather than what I usually build because the guide told me to, or, well, it's worked for me before. Because in these situations here, like I was saying, Darius cannot afford to build the Black Cleaver that early, but he did anyway, and it's put him very, very far behind. X-Face on the run there from Nidalee trying to chase him down. Now he's actually the one chasing, so he's turning it around. He's regen more health. Oh, wait, nope. Going back in. Chilling Spite from X-Face.
Ooh, dodges the last spear. And right now, there's a potential fight starting in mid. Gnar's about to be Mega Gnar. Does get the slam on it. Gets a stun onto Darius. Trying to hold him in place, but Darius is healing up slowly. He's still alive in this fight.
Okay.
They get the hook onto Caitlyn. Priority target, but that... Oh my god, lots of damage going right now. Jury gets a kill onto the Thresh at this point. Vayne, Gnar, and the Mundo are running for the hills. Caitlyn lands on the Vayne. Meanwhile, Akali is split pushing bot lane. She does have her teleport, so she can come up for a flank. But at this point, I think they're going to concede and just go for a turret exchange.
Have a mini base race here. Binding misses barely on Novacloak. Spear lands, though. Jury wants to go for it. Doesn't want to risk the dive, though. That was well played by Slacker there. I mean, like I said, he's not saying he has to survive in fights, but he was able to get in early enough that he was able to get damage out before they completely turned their focus onto him. He was able to build up the Black Cleaver stacks onto Gnar to kind of help shred some of his armor, some of his tankiness, and help his team do some more damage. Red Trip was forced to flash and tumble out of the way because of the depth charge, and once that depth charge landed and knocked her up, that's when Pyramides went forward with the Final Spark ultimate and was able to get some damage onto Vayne. And I think it even hit...
It did hit Gnar a little bit too. Mundo was not touched.
Yeah. So... that was well played by the blue team there, coordinating their CC and their damage there. Because Pyramides is behind, doesn't do a lot of damage yet, but that is a safe way to get your damage out and to force them off the tower. Even if you don't get the kill, it's going to help them get off of the tower there.
Ooh, Pyramides though getting ganked in mid lane right now. Thresh misses the hook, doesn't matter though. Freak shows Akali has enough damage, gets a clean kill under the turret, and they have 5 mid. They could try to go for this mid turret, try to open up the map a little bit for their side. The only problem is they have a Vayne, they have a Mundo.
I mean, Gnar is rush a bear right now. Look at how pushed in bottom is. Somebody's got to go to bottom to respond to that and clear that.
This is true. That is a missed opportunity right now. I mean, again, you have Gnar who has percentage space damage. You have Mundo. You have Vayne. You have a very fed Akali. You have so many answers to burst this Baron down at 25 minutes. Instead, they have the rage bar up.
It's a dive. There we go. 2-man from Novacloak. And Freak shows in. This is going to look bad for blue team. Depth charge on Akali, though. Get her out of the turret.
Yeah, but Gnar is able to soak up the damage. Vayne is kind of going nuts right here. Mundo taking a lot of damage right now. Forced to pop the ultimate. Vayne is separated from her team. Spear does not land at this point. And right now they're trying to adjust for position. They get the hook onto Zyrus when he flashes. but he's still tanking, so he's taking a lot of damage. They get the kill on the Mundo. Vayne is now taking the lantern out to safety. They are chasing on, but here comes Gnar with a good boomerang to slow him down. Akali is here to flank potentially, and it looks like this fight could be dissipating. No, Thresh is looking for one more play. Does not land a death sentence. Binding does not land either, but now Nidalee is getting a lot of pot shots. This could be a quick kill. It is. But Freakshow goes for an exchange right now, but here comes Darius teleporting in for the blue team.
Never mind. Slacker's in, he's gonna go for the dunk, hopefully gonna reset there. There we go, that's a huge shutdown for Darius.
Yes, it is, and if he's able to get a shutdown onto the Gnar and Vayne as well, that would be everything he needs to get funneled back into this game.
Nova Cloak as well. The Black Cleaver's gonna help Tayan do some more damage there if he can kill off Gnar, but there's the nice stun from Gnar. Retro wants to go back in, Slacker is gonna, oh, not dunk, he's gonna go down. Oh, Tayan's gonna
Ooh, shutdown gold does go over to Caitlyn at least. And some of that gold does go over the Darius fight as an assist.
That's one of those situations where you're so desperate to try to get gold back in your pocket that you're willing to take any fight you can. But honestly, the blue team, I don't think it was worthwhile for them to chase that far in. Once they got the kills, they were able to clean up the mid lane. They should cut their losses, back up, reward their side of the map in the river so they can prepare for future dragons, which just came up. Prepare for Baron, which is still up, and an option for the blue team because they are so far ahead, and clear your bot lane so you can get regain control of your map. Sometimes just chasing for kills for the sake of it is not worth it, especially when you're going to end up giving up kills in exchange. And you know this because of how far that Gnar and the Vayne are.
Mundo is trying to go where he pleases. If he can dodge any more damage, he could try to go for an execute. Nope, he is cut off in the pass, and will he make it out? Spear does not land. He is still ready for the hills. Lands another cleaver. Pyramides does not land the binding neither. Spear does finally land, but this time right now, red side has taken the dragon completely uncontested. But now blue side, they have 5 members up top side. They're going to try to start. They are starting the Baron right now. Red side is trying to react as fast as they can, but they don't have the rage bar.
This is the desperation Baron of ages. Look how slowly that Baron is dropping. There is no way that they can.
They have to. They have to back off of this. Ooh, they get a good ankle toss onto the threshold, locking them down.
Here we go. Depth charge on the red trip.
Freakshow's in the back line, but he gets spotted out with a sweeper, unable to do anything. Darius is now trying to go for the Vayne. Vayne gets a kill. Gnar is full charge. He gets the Gnar off on 3 people, keeping them nice and low. Vayne tumbles to avoid the ultimates. Gnar does not body block for the Vayne, so Vayne is out of this fight for now, but Gnar might be able to 1v2 at this point. He goes back to small Gnar, but now he has actually more damage from everybody else. He does get the Caitlyn. He's going to trade for the Lux at this point. He's just slowing her over and over again. More health-based damage. She is not enough mana, and this should be a kill. Double kill for the Gnar, and that is an ace for the red side.
And blue team, this is, oh my goodness, this is what I was talking about here. All that time you spent chasing around Mundo, you gave up another dragon. You went for the Desperation Baron, which was good, and it baited a good fight for you guys. But you guys are so very far behind that now this incredibly fed Gnar is able to run through 1v2 you guys when he's almost dead as mini Gnar. This is devastating. Get some more vision control on your side of the map. Go for some more objectives here. Clear out your lanes so you can actually play the map a bit. Because chasing around for kills, yes, you'll get a couple kills back in your pocket, but the other team is so far ahead of you that it's not really going to pay off here.
At this point, it looks like it's going to be another clean kill given over to the Akali. It was a very cheeky play they had where they had Thresh through the Lantern, so Gnar can try to kill the turret if he needs to. Just take the Lantern out for escape. Instead, they get the turret, they get the kill, and they're up they're up 7,000 gold right now, nearing 30 minutes, 17 to 27 in kills. They've finally evened the turrets, and this game is insane, like they normally are in Chicago.
Yeah, no, I mean, and once again, I mean, Red Trip had a very slow start, but he's fed again, 10, 0, and 2. He is not dying. He is saving his tumble and using his tumble conservatively, kind of like I mentioned at the start of last game. If he can use his tumble conservatively and not use it to chase foolishly for kills, and he can use it to dodge some of the things that would kill him in those clutch moments, like the Lux ultimate, like, well, he can't dodge the Caitlyn ultimate, but dodging the Lux ultimate so that he doesn't die from the Caitlyn ultimate is massive for him, and he's 10, 0, and 2 right now. A Vayne that's doing this well and is able to trade a lot of damage traditionally should not be able to survive this easily, because he should be the prime focus. But he's not, because Freakshow's also incredibly fed and extremely far ahead. And yes,
as is Gnar.
Even though Freakshow is sort of just jumping in the front first and dying pretty quickly, he's getting out so much damage in that window, and he's diverting so many resources away that could be going on to Red Trip and the Gnar. that him jumping in as an assassin and dying is actually worthwhile because the Gnar is so far ahead, and you have the Vayne as well, that if one of their damage sources die, the other one can come in and clean up. So red team right now, there's very little they can do wrong, aside from go into a fight 1 by 1 and have to go through the sort of blender that is Darius in the front line here. Because Darius still does some decent damage. He's not very durable, he's not going to survive very long, but if you go in 1 by 1 and you can't quite finish him off and he keeps sustaining through the Q hits, and he keeps getting a little bit of shielding here from Lux and, you know, a little bit of, you know, health here and there just by natural regen, then the blue team can clean up a fight. But the blue team need to get more control over the map because at this rate...
We have a fight up here on the top side jungle. Akali's teleporting in, trying to go for the fight at this point. Gnar is chasing for Nilly. He flashes over the wall, gets the stun. He's going for the Gnar. This might be enough to kill her right now at this point. Luxo does fire out, does not matter. Lux is going to drop at this point. Akali is really low, trying to run for the hills, but Vayne has cleaned up kills on the other side, and that is a 2 for 0 right now.
Yeah, the red team is just so far ahead of
this is going to be quickly 3 kills right now. Double kill over for the Gnar. Both Thresh and Vayne are chasing for the Lux. Binding is caught at this point. Doesn't matter. Ooh, the fake play onto the Caitlyn at this point. Hooking the Caitlyn.
Yeah, this is... So, I was saying last game how there's very few situations where you have nothing to do. This is one of those situations. Blue team had their window of opportunities to get back into the game and regain control over the map to try to get some of the objectives back under their control. But at this point now, 10,000 gold down with a fed Gnar, Akali, and Vayne. There really is nothing that they can do unless the red team want to die. Even now, Tang can get a kill here. Ace and Hole's gonna come out. Muno's gonna block it. In a 5v5 or even a 4v5 in favor of the blue team, red team are still gonna come out on top just because of how insanely far ahead they are right now, and they can play the map better. We saw Freak Show could teleport in behind like he did last time. Novacloak has teleport up now, so even though he went back to base, he's maybe going to grab Home Guard and teleport back into this one. He's waiting for the teleport. He's sitting on the fountain waiting for the teleport to come in behind on this one.
Yeah.
You see, there's actually a red ward in their base, in that lane. A couple red wards in the jungle as well. No, they're not going to do it. They're going to let X-Face go down. We might see another Desperation Baron.
This is actually a perfect opportunity to do it as well. Mundo is dead, so you don't have the contestation of the smite. And Vayne just recalled, and Thresh is not there too. So it's just the Gnar and the Akali. Granted, they are 2 of the most fed members in the game. And Gnar jumps into the pit!
If he can get Mega up, he can save this for his team right now. Slacker's gonna go down.
He's intentionally taking damage just to get his ultimate, his rage bar up faster. Gets a beautiful Gnar, chunks them both down. Akali does drop over to Nilly, but Gnar at this point is taking so much time. He's buying time! Here comes Thresh and Vayne in the wing. Lantern used to bring Vayne in closer. They're just trying to buy as much time as they can so they can Vayne and Thresh clean this all up. Vayne with the first kill.
2v4. Can they do it? No.
No, they cannot, and that is actually... Ooh, Mundo's back alive, so that is technically not an ace.
So, I just said how there's nothing that they can do, right? Unless
except run in like one by one.
That is exactly what they did. They ran 1 by 1 by 1. Yes, they delayed the Baron, but that gave them a couple of shutdowns. Big shutdowns. Those are 500 gold each. One for Caitlyn, one for Nidalee. Both are the main damage dealers here for the blue team because, let's face it, Lux is not going to be able to put out as much damage as she wants to. She only has an 8-stack Medjai's and the Fiends. That's not enough damage. A Luden's at this point, or a Death Cap. Anything else would be better for Lux at this point. I would almost say cut your losses and sell that Medjai's. But she's got a few stacks on it now, so maybe it's still worth her while if she can stay alive for these later fights. But that was really good for the blue team. That was pretty much what they needed. That was almost a win-win.
Mundo does get the dragon! And that's the 3rd dragon now, so for this team that has the Mundo Gnar wanting to run into you.
Freak Show's so very fed.
3rd dragon is secured by Mundo right there. Actually, let me see. Nidalee did not use her smite. Mundo smote early. It got to 28 health, and the Cinderhulk plus Burning Agony killed it. A bit of a misplay, I'd say, from the Nidalee.
And that's the 3rd dragon now for the red team, which, again, they've been playing the map so much better than the blue team. That's, again, not what the blue team wants. They need to try to get the map under their control here, and if they had some more wards out, some better vision in their favor, I don't know, it's very, very difficult for the blue team at this point, but they've done what they needed to do to hold on to this game. If the red team keep trying to fight them 1 by 1 by this, and the blue team can deny as much vision as possible, Vayne is starting the dragon solo for the moment. Blue team hopefully are aware of this. The pings are coming out. They're gonna back off. They got dragon to half or Baron to half health, but ooh, Gossamer forced the flash. That's good.
All right, so Gnar does have his teleport up. Kalias is gonna be up shortly, but they're having Gnar building up a pretty decent sized wave, starting to split push bottom. Darius is stuck inside his base, dealing with the super minions coming in, but he does have teleport as well, so this could turn into a 5v5 fight at a moment's notice, and everyone just rotates around mid, trying to get map superiority and get pressure.
I personally feel like Lux is denying herself a lot of damage right now.
Ooh,
like
Gnar is running in. He almost has full rage bar. Can he get anything?
Dead Man's Plate as well. He's gonna be forced to pop it. Good job by Lux there, throwing out that
But now they can't defend this turret right now.
Ulti used to clear the wave. Not sure it's worthwhile though. I mean, Lux definitely has 40% CDR right now. She has both Morellonomicon and Athenes, which is what I was going to touch on here. I think having both of those items is a tad redundant. You typically want one of those items for the mana regen and CDR, and then you go damage from there. And right now, because of the way that they...
Ooh, red team is actually taking Baron right now. They have so much hit-based damage. They are just shredding through this. It's already at 3,000 health. This should go down without any contestation. And Mundo does get the smite. Vayne now turning on to Nilly.
Oh, the crits, Vayne.
Crits Vayne, forced to get a Zanya at this point. Vayne is now caught by herself around a Darius and oh my god. Vayne kiting back, gets a beautiful condemn, wonderful Gnar in place. Darius is trying to get in place. Can he get a dunk in time? Does not matter despite the full stacks. That is a triple kill over to the Vayne. And Akali jumps into the base. She is chasing the Lux. This should be a free kill. Now Caitlyn's throwing her life away. Forced to flash might not be enough. Gnar lands the slow. That's a double kill. And that's an ace. That is Baron. There are minions in the base. They're going to clean this inhibitor, and that should be game at like 37 minutes and 40 seconds.
Again, I think a lot of build optimization could have really helped out the blue team here. If Darius built tankier earlier on, like I was saying, if Lux built more reliable damage instead of the Medjais when you're behind and you're against an assassin in lane, not taking Ignite against an assassin in lane because they're the ones assassinating you, you need to try to stay alive and help your team with your utility because you're a long-range control mage.